Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch, a two-part baseball segment
combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock.
The Pitch Clock is back again here on a Thursday.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, there's our typical intro with Chris Cody.
We obviously has to be confusing to June.
Yeah, of course. Well, and that's what I wanted to mention. Chris Cody's here. I'm here. Joon Lee is back with us for another week, except this time, instead of being our 2025 MLB expert, we are subjecting him to Taylor's trivia.
Yeah.
So Taylor is here. Taylor, please explain the trivia game we are about to play with me, Chris, and June.
This is a new one. So you guys will be given 5 categories, one at a time. For each one, you just need to give one answer that you think fits. The number of points you get is based on what they did in the category. So if the category was 2024 home runs and you guessed Ohtani, you would get 54 points for that round.
Wow. Okay. This is insane.
The catch is if you guys write the same answer as another person, no points.
Whoa. Okay, it cancels itself out. So unique choices here are important as well.
At least it's not confusing for June's first time.
Yeah, this is super not confusing at all. All right, Taylor. So let's do this. First category, first stat that you want us to look at.
2006 runs scored.
Okay. 2006 runs scored.
2006.
I'm going to go ahead.
I gotta be honest here. This is like a ball went out on me situation. I saw what Jeremy wrote.
You did?
Yeah.
So it's the name that I have.
Well, wouldn't you think I'd want to put the name that you have? Anyways, we're getting bogged down.
I don't think so. All right. June.
Let's reveal the names.
Yeah, do you have a name written down, June?
I have the name Ichiro.
Oh,
and then
that's
I
a good
have
one.
very little frame of reference for what number could be plausible here. So I just put down 157.
I like that you put a number.
Yeah.
I didn't put a number. I'm fascinated to see.
I put Alex Rodriguez.
And I put Derek Jeter, which is the name that Chris definitely originally put and then crossed out.
Which is just helping you.
That's fine. Yeah, no, it's good for everybody.
So June is going to get 110 points for Ichiro. Chris Cody is going to get 113 points for A-Rod. And then Jeremy is going to get 118 points for Derek Jeter after one round.
Woo-hoo!
Those are three pretty good guesses.
That actually helped me.
That felt pretty good.
If I picked
If you had
Jeter,
done Jeter, we'd be down by 100 points.
If I just see the paper sitting there, I'm going to glance at it.
All right, I understand.
And you circled it?
I thought you said cheaters never prosper. And now our 2025 baseball expert is here. We have Kiley McDaniel. You can follow him on Twitter at KileyMCD. He's an ESPN baseball insider. Thank you for joining us. I'm very happy that you're here. And let's just dive into it with the College World Series. We finally got the 8-team set headed to Omaha for the final round of the College World Series this weekend, kicking off action. So what have been some of your favorite moments that have led to here, and who have been some of the teams and stars worth watching during this tournament?
So you have 2 teams in Arkansas and LSU that I think 2 are the 3 teams with the most pro talent. They made it. Tennessee was the other one that was there. They would have made it, but they were playing against Arkansas, so only one of them could make it. And so the rest of the field is then you have some of the resourced mid-majors. We have West Coast teams like UCLA, Arizona, Oregon State. We have maybe the Gonzaga of baseball in Coastal Carolina. All of them have won titles in the last 15 years. They're all back. We had Louisville, who was the surprise of the ACC teams to make it. They are one of those sort of second-tier resource teams, but they weren't supposed to be here. They were 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th in the ACC. And then the big surprise, the Cinderella, which we didn't think they really existed in college baseball anymore, is Murray State. We had Oral Roberts 2 years ago who had some pro prospects. We have Murray State this year who has probably one guy on the whole team that will even be drafted. I had some tweets this week because I was trying to figure out why they got here. So in the postseason, Murray State has played Ole Miss, Georgia Tech, and Duke. Those teams had a combined 24 players who sat 92 or higher with their fastball. Do you want to guess how many Murray State had of those 24?
0.
There were 17 players on those 4 teams that hit a ball 109 or higher off the bat. Murray State had one of them.
That's
They are
crazy.
completely overmatched when it comes to big tools and pro scouting and pro prospects. but they're here, and that's why it's interesting. Like, they don't really belong. They've already completely overshot the runway in terms of their expectations, but like that's kind of the beautiful thing of college baseball. These guys are here, and they kind of shouldn't be, and like who knows how far it could go. They only have to win a handful more games.
We love a Cinderella story generally, right, in sports, but Murray State making the College World Series is truly like one of the biggest Cinderella stories, I think, this entire century in any college sport. It's really unbelievable given the stats that you just said. So in the same way that many of us are rooting for the Indiana Pacers, we should be rooting for the Murray State Racers. But let's move on to the MLB draft here, because that's coming up in about a month, and that changes the fortune for so many franchises. Is, you know, we'll talk about a couple of guys who have been high draft picks later in this episode, but we'll start with you here, Kiley, and try to bring in some more guests over the next few weeks to get people started. But I want to start with sort of a sampler here. So who are some of the players at the top of this draft that people should get to know ahead of the draft? And who's one of your favorite players in this draft, whether you think they're going to be a surefire superstar or maybe going to be a steal for a team as they drop to, you know, a different point in that first round?
The guys that I think are of most note to the audience here, there's a couple of high school players. Generally seen as the best of those is Ethan Holiday, shortstop out of Oklahoma High School. Another one of the Holidays, obviously, his older brother is Jackson. His dad is Matt. And then the other high school player of note is Seth Hernandez, a high school righty out of a Southern California team. His high school Corona has two guys that are going to go in the top 10 picks, and then another guy that's going to get drafted later. There's an unbelievably
From
loaded
one
high
high
school
school.
Yes, from one high school. They have multiple.
They
have an
team,
underclassman going to LSU. Like they are better than some college teams.
Yeah,
That's
this
how
high
good
school
they are.
team that has more talent than Murray State, who's at the College World Series.
So those are the two high school guys that I think are seen as candidates to go in the top two or three picks overall. And then from the college side, there's three lefties. Probably the best of the group right now is Cade Anderson, a lefty at LSU that's in the College World Series that has been trending up of late. The other two, Liam Doyle, lefty out of Tennessee. It just feels like Hell's Bells are playing every time he comes in. Welcome to the jungle. It's that kind of guy. It's just hair goes back, throwing 100 all over the place sometimes, but also dominates at a level we haven't seen since like Paul Skenes, basically. And the last one is lefty out of Florida State, Jamie Arnold. Those are the three college pitchers that are in that conversation. And then Ivar Arquette, the shortstop at Oregon State, who's also in the College World Series, is the best college hitter. He's also in that group. And so that's probably like the top five guys out of that group of players that is in the mix for those top few picks.
Second round. Let's do this, Taylor.
The category is 2004 walks.
Oh, this is some devilish work by you, Taylor, because we all want to put the same name. But then what happens if none of us put that name?
Just know I'm putting it.
Yeah, you called
I
dibs.
I might just be saying that. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
you got it.
Or I'm putting down Barry Bonds. I'm not
Right.
sure yet.
All right.
I know who
Does
Chris
everybody
Brown
have a
is.
name? Has everybody written down a name?
Yes.
Okay.
I have. Yes.
I'll start. I put A-Rod.
Well, I put down Barry Bonds.
Oh, no!
Yeah!
No!
Jeremy, you
Why
got-
didn't you do
No,
it?
you should have done
You
it.
said you were going to do it.
It's your game.
So who'd you put?
Nick Johnson.
God, you're an idiot.
June gets 232 points
Yep.
for Barry
Let's
Bonds.
go. Let's
This
go.
is ridiculous.
Evil putting that one in there.
Jeremy gets 80 points for Alex Rodriguez.
We have no chance at
All right,
winning this
let's
game now. Okay.
Give me Nick Johnson.
And where was Nick Johnson?
Give me him.
Nick Johnson, 40 walks.
All right.
I think to Cody's slight defense,
Thank you.
my natural instinct was to put down like a hipster pick,
Right.
like Bill
Yeah.
Miller or something like that.
Bill Miller.
Now you're tickling me.
See, this is why we play the game, for names
Because
like
he was a
Bill
big
Miller.
OBP guy, but then I was just like, if I want to win,
Yeah.
Nick Johnson was
obviously
a big
the
OBP.
answer is Barry Bonds.
Well, at this point, I feel like this competition is going to end up being over. But it's fine. Let's continue into
Couple
round
canceled
three.
out for him in a row. We're
Ta-
right back in it.
We're going to be right back in it. Taylor.
2009 innings pitched.
Ooh, I like that.
I feel good about mine. It's just like
I'm a little
there's
worried.
so many guys that it's like there's like a 15-year period. I'm like, was he at the front of the thousands?
There's three guys on one team that I want to put on this list, and I'm not.
All right, I'm ready.
okay, I got
June,
mine.
you have your name?
My name?
I already regret mine. What's your name,
is
June?
Jamie Moyer.
Oh, that's
Strong.
a fun one.
Strong.
Okay, I have Tim Lincecum.
Johan Santana.
That's the name. I'm so glad I didn't pivot because he was the next name I was thinking of.
June, Jamie Moyer, 162 innings.
That's not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
Chris Cody, Johan Santana, 166.2.
Wow.
Jeremy, Tim Lincecum was in the top 10 innings pitched that season. He was number 9, 225.1.
Let's go. That's my boy, Tim Lincecum. Big time Timmy Jim. Let's move on to what's going on in Major League Baseball right now and some of those prospects that you've been looking at for years who have all just come up. It's been a really good month or so here for prospects coming up in Major League Baseball. So I'm going to ask for quick notes on actually 3 different guys here. It's Roman Anthony, who's the Red Sox top prospect who just came up, and it's a huge deal. We saw what a big day it was in Boston. Then there's Jacob Misiorowski, the Brewers pitcher, who can hit 103 on the gun, and he'll be making his Major League debut tonight starting for the Brewers. And then this is just an excuse to show some of the greatest catches I've ever seen. In his first 18 games, Denzel Clark is basically Torrey Hunter in center field for the Athletics. So those 3 guys, really exciting time for baseball to have the 3 of them come up. Can I get a couple of notes on each of them?
Yeah, Roman Anthony's an easy one to get excited about. He's been the top prospect in baseball since Roki Sasaki graduated. He was a guy that's been a multi-million-dollar type player out of high school. He has a chance to hit 30, maybe even 40 homers, but currently he still hits too many ground balls, so he doesn't have that loft in his swing. But the exit velo suggests that there is, home run derby type, multiple all-star chance to be an MVP kind of talent. Probably like I'd say a medium average, maybe 250, 260 hitter. Tons of walks, really good plate selection. And then he's also a pretty good athlete, pretty good runner, can fill in center field, but is more of a good right fielder. Denzel Clark is really interesting. He's been a slow burn prospect, came from a mid-major college, has been in the minors for a little while. The scouting report has kind of always been it's plus power, plus speed, plus defense. We'll see if he can put the bat on the ball enough for any of that to matter. And so the question is, does he turn into like a defensive replacement with unbelievable tools that doesn't really hit very much? Or does he turn into like Mike Cameron? Like that would be if everything clicks, he could turn into that. And then I would argue probably the most fun. I think fans have the most fun watching these guys like Jacob Misiorowski that can just throw 103. He is 6'7", comes at you. He has a cutter, a slider, a curveball. Everything is plus to plus. It's all moving all over the place. And then this year he just magically started throwing strikes to AAA. And nobody really knows what to do with this. And the question is basically, is this guy going to be one of the better closers in the league? Or is he going to actually turn into like Zach Wheeler and the whole thing's going to click? And so this might actually be the hyped guy that they can turn into something.
This is one of the craziest, most electric arms we've ever seen in Major League Baseball, and he takes the mound tonight. Let's move to our star of the week. And Kiley, you may not know this, we've been calling this a golden era in Major League Baseball for superstars, and I'm actually gonna throw 3 of them at you. Normally we're making our guests choose between 2, but it's been such a ridiculous week and such a ridiculous season for all 3 of these guys. I'm gonna throw each of 3 players and a stat at you, and then you're going to focus on one of them as we move forward. So there's my guy, Tarik Skubal, with the Detroit Tigers. He's gone 6-0 with a 1.61 ERA, 13 earned runs, and 72 2/3 innings pitched with 95 strikeouts and 3 walks across his last 11 starts.
Is that good?
That's pretty good. He might not even be as good as Paul Skenes, because there have been 90 occurrences all time where an MLB pitcher has a sub 2.1 ERA and 80-plus strikeouts through 13 starts of a season. Paul Skenes in 2025 is the only one of those to have a losing record in Pittsburgh. He's 4-6 over that stretch. This is a guy with an ERA under 2 in his first 37 starts in Major League Baseball. And then there's Cal Raleigh, who we've brought up the big dumper on this show multiple times, but he continues to lead Major League Baseball in home runs, and over the last 30 days, he's first in nearly every category, and that's as Aaron Judge is having one of his sickest seasons of all time. So Cal Raleigh, Paul Skenes, Tarik Skubal, pick one, and let's focus on him.
I'm going to pick Tarik Skubal. He went in the 9th round. Like, everyone thought he was just okay. And we've seen it a couple times in the past. It doesn't happen very often. Jacob deGrom is the one that I think of the most, where there are rules about baseball and pitching where this might sound counterintuitive, but velo essentially goes up until you're around age 25, and then it starts to slowly come down. And the trick for pitchers is you have to learn as much command to make up for the velocity you lose as you get older. Tarek Skubal's velo has gone up 4 years in a row, and he's 28. He had really hit triple digits, and then this year he hit 103 in like the 80th pitch of a game. Like, he's defying all of these rules. And so, like, at age 27, he won his first Cy Young last year. Now he's hitting new heights in velocity. I don't know how to explain any of this to anyone. Like, all of the scouting that you do, all the history you create, all of the like, well, he does this and he's good at this. It's all presumed on, well, he's not going to start throwing harder at 26, 27, and 28 and then learn a best new pitch that he wasn't throwing that much. Like, none of this stuff is supposed to happen, and he's kind of doing all of it. And that's really fascinating to me because it just kind of blows up the entire like rubric of the way that I've been taught to like judge pitchers.
Right. Tarek Skubal is the exception to the rule, and I appreciate that what you've done is basically spent this entire time giving us your expertise and then immediately undermining your own expertise by saying, I didn't think this guy who's the best pitcher in baseball was going to be any good. Kiley McDaniel, thank you very much for all of the analysis that you've given us. This was a blast. Hope to have you back sometime soon after the draft. We can catch up on all of the things that occur there and some of the prospects that come up in the meantime. But for now, let's get back to our competition with Chris and June. Taylor, what is our stat?
1997 home runs.
Jesus. 1997 home runs. Wow. Okay. What a time for home runs, because there have been 10 different guys who came to mind. But here's where I'm going. Does everybody have a name written down?
Oh, wait. I was thinking 03 for a second. Oh, shit.
You want to take a second?
Okay, you just go.
Well, but you should probably
he
write it
needs a
down
name.
before we...
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
All right, I'll just unveil mine first. My name was Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, that's a good name.
Does anybody have Ken Griffey?
No.
No, I have Mark McGuire.
Great.
Chris, who do you
I
have?
just crossed out Sosa, and I put Jim Thome.
That is one of the names I was just thinking of.
Oh,
Him
that's
and Frank
pretty good.
Thomas were a couple of the
Just
names.
thinking 97
right?
Marlins versus like that.
Yeah,
that
who they were
Indians
playing.
Chris Cody, Jim Thome was 8th with 40 home runs.
I stink.
So you get 40 points there.
Same amount of walks as Nick Johnson.
Mark McGuire, 58 home runs
Wow.
that season.
Yeah.
Where was Sosa?
And then Ken Griffey, right behind Mark McGuire in second, 56.
Hell yeah.
Was
All
this-
right.
This was pre-Sosa, right?
Sosa-
That was a good cross by me.
Sosa
14th.
started.
He had 36 that
Good,
year.
good.
Sosa's run
cross out.
from 98
Good cross
to
out.
Good
01
cross out by
or
me.
02 was
Good
the
cross
run
out.
for
Good
him.
cross out.
So Chris Cody, you're within 200, and luckily for you,
I'm
this
within-
category,
I'm within 203 of June. So
this category is 2,000 hits.
Hate you.
ooh, this is okay. Good. I like what you did there, Taylor.
All right, so
Hold on.
The glory.
The question that I have here is, do I want to put the name that I think was at the top of that list and potentially cancel myself out with June, because I have a feeling everyone's thinking the same thing? Or do I put a name that I just think will be on that list?
I think you should do. Whatever your heart tells you not to do. I think you should do.
You have a name?
Yeah.
You have a name, June?
I have a
going-
name.
I'm going last.
I do.
All
I'm going
right.
last.
All right. June, you go first.
My name is Nomar Garcia Parra.
Okay. My name, second time used, Derek Jeter. You have Jeter?
No.
Oh, thank God.
I went Ichiro.
Well, we're really hitting at the core of the baseball.
Who'd you go, Chris?
culture wars.
Ichiro.
Ichiro's 2001 debut.
Dude,
isn't he?
yeah, he had no hits. that
2001
hits.
Rookie of the Year, Ichiro,
Yeah.
did not have a hit
Nope.
in 2000.
No, look up. No,
In
look.
Japan?
First of all, no one said we were talking about Major League Baseball.
Chris Cody could take the asterisk 153 hits anyways because it's third on this list.
Yes.
Thank
you.
Derek Jeter, 201 hits. Nomar, 197. Two solid guesses, but it clinches June to win.
June is victorious. Congratulations, June, on being a first-time champion in your first game. That's devastating because we play this every week and we both stink at it. So congratulations on your victory. Thank you for joining us for a second straight week on the Pitch Clock.
Yeah, thank you for having me.